This will be a walkthrough of the Wyze app for the Wyze Cam version 3. If you have any other Wyze products, you are fairly familiar with the Wyze app itself, so you can actually skip ahead to the rest of the review. For those of you who this may be their first Wyze Cam and/or are interested in Cam Plus, the subscription service that you can get from Wyze, I actually got a free trial of it when I purchased the Wyze Cam version 3, so I'll utilize this as a way of talking about some of those features. To start, we're going to actually click into the Wyze Cam version 3 because I want to talk about the actual interface for this camera in particular first. What we're looking at here is the live stream of my Wyze Cam version 3 outside because, well, it is plugged in, but it is an outdoor camera. If we take our phone and tilt it, it will go into a full landscape mode, and we'll bring it back here. Starting up at the top on this side, you can see it says HD as well as a number count that lets you know how well your video is going to look. Clicking on it, you can select from HD, SD, and 360p, which will be your lowest. So you can see I accidentally set it to SD. Over here we have the fact that it is a live stream. We have our auto, night vision, or not night vision. So right now, if I tap on this, it's letting me know to try leaving night vision off, and that's something we're going to touch on with the version 3. So auto, on for night vision, off. And here you can see, thanks to that new sensor in the Wyze Cam version 3, you can pretty much see, at least in the far distance there, where there's extra light, what's going on. But since I want to see what's going on in my yard, having the night vision on helps out. Now, there is a 2-stage night vision ability for this camera. We'll get into that when we get to the options. Down here, we have our mute button. So right now, I don't hear anything, but if I tap on this, I can hear what's going on outside. Likewise, if I click record, I can record directly to my phone what I see on the camera. Now, in the case of this particular camera, because I got that free subscription service for a trial of 2 weeks, I don't actually have an SD card in this camera. So that's going to be something new that I experienced. So if you're recording, you would tap on that and it takes a little bit to actually process itself and then download to your phone. Same thing if you try and download a motion capture from the cloud and bring that down. So it was an interesting experience. They have made a nice change where you can now just tap and start talking instead of having to press and hold. I scared some deer that were in my yard the other day just by talking to them using that microphone. You can snap a picture and it will take a picture right there of what it sees. Coming over to more, we have motion tagging. So as I've been going through the review, you've seen me roll in some footage. That green box that pops up around motion, that's what that is. That is motion tagging. Albums, if I select this, here we can see, here are my videos, here are my photos. So these videos are things that I was taking earlier today, and you can see they're each marked with manual recording. If I select edit, I can put a bullet, I can put a check mark next to one, and I can delete it if I wanted to, or I can share it. So those options are down here, share and delete. You also have the select all in that corner there. And we're gonna come back and go back to more. So that was albums. Time lapse, you do need to have an SD card in the camera in order to do that. I've covered the time lapse. I do like the time lapse. The Wyze Cam Outdoor had very nice time lapse features. The older versions need to catch up, but hopefully with software they will, and that includes the Wyze Cam version 3. Here we have a siren. So there is a built-in siren in the camera, and I might be able to do that and turn on outdoor. So, stop. Hopefully you heard that because I can hear that through the microphone there, and now my neighbors are probably wondering what is going on. They're gonna get used to having somebody testing stuff living by them, hopefully. Last but not least is turn off. So if you wanted to turn your Wyze Cam version 3 off, you can do so from this menu. We're going to select cancel. At the bottom, we have view playback. If you had a micro SD card installed, that would bring you to your recordings and the timeline of your recordings. We are going to come back up here to the top and click on this cog. This cog is for the settings of your Wyze Cam version 3. Up at the top, you have the name I just called it V3 to make it easier on myself. You have event recordings. So right now I have detects motion, but if I wanted to, I could also select sound. So if it hears something, it will also start an event recording. For me, I just care about moving things since it's outside. Notifications? Well, I do want notifications. Right now, I have it for the Wyze AI Detect. What that is that's that subscription service I was talking about. So this will detect people and other things and then send me a message. I can select all other motion or sounds, which I'm not going to do. And this is just for notifications. Detection settings. If we select this, it'll bring us into our detection settings. Here you can set up a detection zone, which is this green box. And you can set the motion sensitivity and the sound sensitivity. I have continuously pushed this down, but the Wyze Cam the Wyze Cam version 3 really just continues to pick up anything. The one thing I've noticed and don't understand is the Wyze Cam version 2 has moved to more of a grid-like pixel choice for selecting a zone. Wyze Cam version 3 still kept the box, and I'm happy to say that they've made some adjustments with the box because now it's a little smoother because it was really jumpy before, but I really don't know why they didn't move to the pixel-based one because that seems to be the new hotness for them. Overall, this isn't bad. A lot of other things don't support this, so you can actually make this as small as you need to, so I only care about that well out there if it gets disturbed. So I could put a thing right around it. Don't tell me if somebody's walking over here, just if they get too close to that. So this is a feature that I really do appreciate with Wyze, and I'm just going to try and cut that area out over there. So detection zone, always a plus. Alarm settings. So again, because this is an indoor-outdoor camera, using the microphone on the Wyze Cam, if it hears a smoke alarm or it hears a CO alarm, it can send a notification letting you know, and it's letting you know the exact types of CO and smoke detectors that it will detect. Next, advanced settings. Here you have your record to micro SD card if you had one, and manage the micro SD card. Again, I have this with other Wyze products, so I'm not covering it here because I'm trying that subscription service. You have your night vision mode, so off, auto, or on. So this is another area that you can access that. Night vision conditions. Now, because of that extra sensor that brings in as much ambient light as it can, you actually have the option of, do I want this to switch over to night mode, night vision mode, meaning that black and white using the IR lights, at dusk, or in dark. For me, I set it for dark because based on where I have my camera normally, which is perched in a window pointing outside, it picks up enough light from the neighbors that I don't need it to go into night vision mode until very late. But since it's outside, I have it at the dark, which still is pretty good because it doesn't switch over all too early. Now we have night vision options. So there are two different sets of IR light arrays. Right now I have this on far and you can kind of see it there. If I select near, it kind of brings in that light ring that you have out there much closer. These are a wavelength of IR light that is not visible if you're really up close. So for me, I don't care if it's seen, which is why I leave it at far because I want to see more, or if you wanted to, you can turn them off completely. And then right now it's using ambient light sources to kind of figure out what's going on out there. Normally it's not this bright, but since it's Christmas time, when I'm filming this portion, everybody's got their lights on. So that is our night vision IR lights. You have your camera status lights. So that is a light on the front of the camera, not on the back of the camera like it is on the version 2, on the front of the camera. I definitely turned that off and I'm glad they left that option in there. Rotate your image 180 degrees. Well, again, if you're going to have this mounted upside down, it is good that you can rotate your image 180 degrees so you're not looking through your app at an upside down picture. Show timestamp, show logo, and record sound. Those are all options that you saw on the bottom, and I'll bring you back to the image in a minute. And then time sync is synced to your phone's time. So quickly going back to this right here, Wyze logo, date and time. From advanced settings, we have schedule and automation. So these are rules that you can set up, and I've covered this extensively in other videos over there in the corner for the Wyze app. Pretty much what this will do is you can set your camera to either turn on and off automatically at specific times of day, which I do for my living room Wyze Cam Pan, or you can have, if my camera detects motion, turn on this Wyze light over here. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with these routines. Again, I suggest checking out that video in the corner so you get all the goodies that that can do. Sharing, you can share this camera with another person. They just need to have a Wyze account. Device info is going to give you a lot of sensitive information, so I won't be showing you that. Wyze support, right here, built in. I like that they've moved to this. A lot of other companies are as well, getting away from that paper pamphlet that they used to send you. And then here you've got your plug-in version. And we're going to come back to our Wyze Cam version 3 overview.